Pollution, thank you very much, and erosion, and our land in general. You know, we live in an area that has been changed a lot. When people first came to Iowa, when the pioneers came to Iowa, it didn't look like this, did it? What did it look like in Iowa?
Just land.
Mostly, yeah, just land, and there was a lot of grasses. There was what we call prairie. Tall, beautiful brown grasses, a sea of grasses. There was also some trees, especially eastern Iowa. They had a lot of forests there. And we also had wetlands. Frogs were croaking and birds were chirping, and there were wolves here, and there were bears here, and elk, mountain lion were here. And the landscape has changed. When I get in my car and when I drove from Oak Grove to here, what would I see on each side of me, on each side of the road? What do I see now?
Trees.
Yeah, there are some trees. More roads, lots of roads.
Houses.
Houses.
Stores.
Yes.
Corn.
A lot of corn. Ditches, good. Snow, yeah, there's a lot of snow. Do I see a lot of prairie grass sticking up through the snow? No, I don't anymore. We had changed the land. People found out that Iowa's land is very fertile. That means it grows plants very well. Okay, and so what they did is we invented the plow, and we were able to cut the grass from the land and plant crops. Okay? And that's how people have made their living in Iowa for many years. But one thing has happened since then. We've lost the prairie. We've lost the forest. We've lost the wetlands. We've lost habitat. Okay? Another thing has happened. The habitat is gone. Now our water is not as clean as it used to. Do you know what in the world grass would do to keep our water clean? Any ideas? Yeah, filter it. Exactly. Filters it. When it rains and the rain runs into a creek or into a river, it takes with it dirt right now because we see dirt on top of the ground. Do we put any manure on top of the ground? Yeah. Could the rain take that with it? Sure, it does. Okay. Before, all the things that would be stuck to the rain, it wouldn't be very much dirt because there's a lot of grasses. There wouldn't be manure because we weren't farming it. But anything that the rain would have been caught in those plants before it hit the water. Okay. With that in mind, we're going to make this rock valley. Here's rock valley. Here's a beautiful rock valley. And hopefully my clay is warmed up enough. We have Duck Pond, Winterfeld Pond in Rock Valley. Okay? And I'm going to make it so the pond doesn't drain, hopefully. Like I said, my clay is still frozen. Keep this in the shed. Okay, let's see if that stops it. Now we're going to add some water. Here's our beautiful pond. How many people fish in this pond? Anybody fish? Yeah. How many people? Well, let's pretend you could swim in it. If you were allowed to, would you swim in it? Yeah, if I were allowed to. Right now there's no swimming at Winterfeld. If you could, would you boat in it? Because you can do that. I would boat in it. That looks like a really nice pond, doesn't it? Okay. So, we're going to add some things here. We're going to make our town. What do you suppose this is? Okay, a field. Let's go ahead and, if you're sitting over here, you can add one thing to the field. Yep, the tractor can be out there. There should be a house here, and the barn goes here. Nope, not that one quite yet. We will do that one. There you go. There's a house. Okay? Oh, we had a cow. A cow. We better put the cows. Do you think they'd be in the farm field or in the pasture? Probably the pasture. Sometimes they let them out in the field, but we'll put them in the pasture. Looks like there's green grass for them. Okay, up here, this is a factory. Somebody put this factory up here. There you go. We're set with a factory. Okay. Let's move over to this area here. Are there any trees? Do you see any trees? Okay. If you need to walk around to get the trees on your shirt, I go right here. Trees. I don't think the trees. any factories in Rock Valley?
No.
Are there any farmhouses?
Yeah.
Yep, it's like Rock Valley. This is a construction site, okay? This is a construction site. Does anybody see a bulldozer? There you go. This goes on the construction site. And then let's put houses here. This is by the golf course. See, this is the golf course? And the houses are by the golf course. Let's move this one over. Yep, that one goes there. Okay. Now, somebody here owns a sports car. Put the sports car in the driveway. Who owns the sports car? That house. All right. And then this one here, this is the water treatment plant. That's where the dirty water goes and they clean it. That goes right here. That's the city water treatment plant, which is kind of by Kiwanis Trail, isn't it? Is that where the water treatment plant is? Okay. So that's over by the Kiwanis Trail. All right, now we need some roads. Some of these roads have no lines, and some of them have lines. Okay. You want to come around?
Other way.
Okay, let's try it. No, you had it right the first time. There you go. Can you come in behind us?
Is that car road?
That one's correct. Good.
So people
All right. Oh, we're losing water out of our pond. Stop that. Put it back. All right. Okay, now we're going to add some things because in some places there's dirt and in some places there's going to be manure. First of all, let's start with the dirt. Where would the dirt be? Go ahead and point. Where do you think? Okay, there's a little dirt on the road here. Okay, where else?
in the pond. Over here.
Maybe in the pond, yeah, especially along the edges there. Over here, a construction site has dirt.
Up here.
Up here, this hill is really eroding, isn't it? Just terribly. Okay, now this factory is making sludge. And instead of having it taken away, it's cheaper to just let it go down in the creek.
Whoa.
Is that okay to do?
No.
That's against the law, isn't it? Did you know that? These are our water treatment plants. We're going to have sewer water there. They're going to treat it. Where else? In the ditch. Okay. Oh, the farm field. Now, why do people put manure on the farm field? What's that for? Yeah.
Fertilizer.
Fertilizer. You got it. Makes the plants grow. And that's okay. It's okay to put manure on that field. It helps our plants grow. Okay. Come around here. All right. Oh, we'll probably have a little manure out here. A little bit. Okay. Now, we're going to go for fertilizer.
What is it?
My hands will be purple all day. Okay. Fertilizer, where does it go? Oh, we're losing our pond water.
It turned purple. You're losing something.
Okay. Well, there's something under there, so that's over here. Okay, so if they didn't use manure, they would use fertilizer, right? I love fertilizer. Do we use it in our yards in town at all?
Yeah.
Did you know people in town use so much fertilizer that they use more in the little area that they have, in each little area of their yard than he does, or this farmer does in each little area of his field? That's how much fertilizer we use. How about the golf course? Yeah, because fertilizer makes it green, doesn't it? Right? Probably not along the ditches. You probably won't use it there. Maybe, yeah, he might want his yard green.
Everything that's green.
All right, now, fertilizer's okay. It is okay. But it's just, your yard will only use so much of it, and the rest of it runs off in the water. So when you go to the store to buy a bag of fertilizer, you look for low numbers on that bag. There's numbers for nitrogen, for nitrates, for different things on the phosphorus, I think is the other one. On the front of your bag, you want low numbers to make sure that you don't use too much fertilizer. And follow the directions too, because some people will just put a ton of fertilizer on grass look greener. It doesn't really help the roots at all. All the extra runs off in the water. Okay? So we're going to make it rain. Why don't you squirt 5 times and hand it on? And make sure you squirt down because their faces will get wet if you don't. Okay, next person. Just remember, if you haven't got to spray it, we'll set it around again. Everybody will get to it. Rain's so hard, the cow almost fell over.
Poor cow.
Now, I want you to notice the colors in this pond. Is anything happening here?
Yeah. They're changing.
It's changing. The pond isn't clear anymore, is it?
You pour some on the statue.
I had a plug for this pond, but I think I left it at a program.
It's a really bad rain. Right, the bulldozer's not what.
Notice what a watershed is. The land is so that the water is going to go into these creeks, and the creeks will go into the pond. This could be a river too, and all these creeks go to a river. That's another watershed. I live by a creek. I live by 6 Mile Creek, and my kids wonder why can't we swim in the creek? Well, look at what happens in a watershed. Look at all the farmland. Look at all the manure that comes off the farmland goes into it. All of this land, everything they put on the land goes into this. So everything in the water comes from a lot of different areas. Cody! We didn't get to and pass it to him next.
Get the tractor wet, Jackson. Get the tractor wet.
Anybody else that hasn't got to spray? Okay. Looks good. Actually looks terrible now. Now, are you going to swim in duck pond?
No.
Boat? Will you eat the fish? No. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in there, isn't there? Whose problem is that?
Ours.
It's his problem, and their problem, and this problem, the city's problem. Wait a second, the whole community's problem, isn't it? Everybody has to do their part to make sure this water is clean when it goes into the pond, or if it was a river, into the Rock River. Okay? So, let's figure out what we can do for these people to help them out a little bit. First of all, I wish we could do this in real life. We're going to drain this pond. We're going to get rid of this stuff. Wouldn't that be nice if we could really do that?
Yeah.
Did it really just clean a pond like that? Okay. Okay.
What about the fish?
Are we going to get rid of all the pollution that goes in here? No. But we'll make it less. We will make it less. Okay. So, let's see if I can get this going. Let's put some new water in here, guys. And let's see what we can do. What these people can all do.
That's prettier.
Let's start over here. Okay.
Oh gosh.
I'm noticing that when it rains, where does the water go? Where does it come through at?
It goes down the hill.
This way? Kind of down here. Look at that. Here it
It's
comes.
going in.
So we're going to put a dike here. So, ooh, we'll do it quick so that it stops the water. Okay. With the erosion, is he farming, or she, are they farming the right direction? Let me think about this. The water is coming this way. So should the rows be that way?
No.
But there's a slight tilt this way too. Thank you. I wondered, what happens if we farm rows this way?
I'll go down to
Or
the house.
maybe even this way.
I'll go down.
Here's another thing we can do. There's something called a grass waterway. If we know exactly where that water's running, we can plant grass there. And it's just an area where the water runs, called a grassed waterway. Here's one. Okay. See the grass, how it's kind of back and forth? They know the water always runs there, so they planted grass. And it's a filter, right? So it's going to clean the water before it gets in there. What do you think? Should we try that?
Yeah.
Where's our grass waterway going to go? Where do we need to put this in?
Over there.
Like right here, you think?
Yeah.